Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to a game which appears to have just come out of nowhere. This is Spellforce, Conquest of Eo. At least I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. But, yeah, I've played a fair amount of the Spellforce series. I missed the first Spellforce game. I sort of started from Spellforce to Shadow Wars, and then went into its expansions, and then played 3, and then went to the first expansion, but I didn't play Fallen God. Never actually finished any of the games other than Shadow Wars, though, and Dragonstorm. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, yeah, this is a sort of little side game. Well, I say little. It's a side game. It's not in the same style as any of the other Spellforce games. This is more like Lords of Magic, which, well, given there's a promotion on at the moment until the 10th of February, where if you buy this, you also get Lords of Magic Special Edition for free. Well, that kind of makes sense. Age of Wonders is another rather large comparison that you can bring to the table on that one. So, given that it's... I didn't really feel like recording Black Mesa for today because it's my birthday, damn it, I want something different. And seeing as though, well, if you see this after Tuesday the 7th, then, well, you, obviously, it's not my birthday anymore, but, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably still stick this up anyway, even if I am able to stream, but I'll stick it up later. Alright, let's stop rambling. So, in this game, you choose one of several types of mage. You can be an alchemist, you can be a necromancer, you can be an artificer, or you can create your own style of mage. Now, there are a lot more varieties of schools, I think, than are actually displayed here, but these are, I'm guessing, the ones that are recommended for beginners. I am going to stick to one of these, and I'm sure you can guess which one, but let's go through them anyway. Alchemist. Be an alchemist, a master of bottled elements. Brew potions and concoctions, support your soldiers in combat, summon magical creatures, and control nature itself. And make shy can't, but that's beside the point. I don't actually know if you can do that in this game. I'm going to presume not, because Malachi was the only one that did it. Playstyle. You prefer lots of options in combat to overcome the odds with a clever use of your resources. Their crafting, their unit crafting is alchemy. Their primary schools are nature and enchantment. The Artificer. Be an artificer, a creator of magical items. Craft glyphs and artifacts to provide your troops with a multitude of different upgrades and wrest secrets from the earth itself. Playstyle. You prefer quality over quantity and like to buff up individual units. Does seem quite interesting. I wouldn't be remiss to playing one of those after, of course, my first love, the Necromancer. Be a Necromancer, an artist of life in death. Harvest souls from the bodies of the fallen to create your horde and flood the land with your servants. Playstyle. You prefer big armies, but will happily sacrifice individual units. Yes, indeed. Crafting necromancy, primary and secondary schools are both death. Oh yeah, and the Artificer is crafting, artificing, primary school Earthmaster, and secondary school Guardian. So yeah, we're going to play a Necromancer today. Now we get to choose our starting location. So we can start in the Golden Fields, the breadbasket of the Highmark. Bugs have recently infested the fields and granaries. Challenge is pleasant. Enemies, goblins, bandits and insects. Resources, cultivated plants, sparse in ore. Accessibility, civilized central region. We can go to Aluvan. Forest and lakes fill this region, once populated by elves. Dangerous beasts roam the forests rich in wildlife, and the fanatics of the new purity extend their grasp here. So that's a medium challenge. Fight religious fanatics and beasts. Have diverse flora, and it is a central wilderness. We can start in Dracot. Deep in the northern Windwall Mountains, the dwarves here are busy mining precious metals. Recent events have seen an uprising of the Granite Dwarves. It's apparently a tough tough area to start in, with dwarves, mountain beasts, and monsters. I did actually go here during my other playthrough, and yeah, there's some nasty stuff up there. Gillishire. Easternmost region of the Highmark, struggling with Orcish raiders draining its resources. Lately, the undead have been pushing in from the north as well. Well, undead, you say? It'd be suck if I made my way down there. Tough challenge. Orcs, undead, and the Hive. I don't know what the Hive are. I can't remember. I don't remember them from Spellforce 2. I barely remember Spellforce 3, so... cultivated flora, iron deposits, remote war-torn region. Or finally, the Misty Coast. A coastal region covered in a thick mist. It's starting to sound like that place from Far Harbour, that's it, from Fallout 4. A small orcish settlement has been established here recently, holding on for survival. Challenge is brutal, enemies are orcs and swamp monsters, resources corrupted plants and ore, accessibility remote coastal region. Now, I'm sure Gillishire and the Misty Coast are going to be pretty good places for undead to start, because the inherent sort of, well, a war-torn region, gonna have a lot of death stuff in it. Misty Coast also probably going to have a lot of death stuff in it, especially if it's corrupted. However, because I am A, just showing this off, and B, I am not exactly great at these sorts of games, we're going to start in the Golden Fields because, well, that's probably wise. So, we get to choose our difficulty. You've got Story Mode, Explorer, Balanced, Hard, and Impossible. Now, it recommends Explorer for your first game, so I'm going to go with that. World progression, you've got plenty of time to explore. Enemy aggressiveness, occasionally you'll get attacked on your home base. Enemy strength is weaker, and economy balanced, and battle AI is somewhat forgiving, as in they make loads of mistakes. So, let's start. About, well, 9 minutes in. Luckily this video's chaptered, so, no, well, it should be if I remember to do it. If I've not done it, shout at me in the comments. Though if I do put this up on my actual birthday itself, then, yeah. I may not immediately respond. Yeah, loading times are... they seem quite long, though to be fair I have this on my secondary hard drive, not my primary. My secondary hard drive is a standard... well, it's a hybrid drive, but it's still got a mechanical element to it. I could put it on my SSD, but that's running out of room. It's always low on room, because I have to have Soulstorm on there. Don't know what to do next? Look for a main adventure to tackle, or consult your grimoire for more goals. We shall get to that shortly. When a message came from your master... Wait. When a message came from your master told you he had discovered... Okay. Yeah, grammar... Spelling and grammar... not the best. I've seen various grammar mistakes. Should be when a message came... When a message from your... No, I'm just reading this wrong. When a message from your master told you he had discovered a way to channel the All-Fire and urged you to come to his tower, you quickly gathered your entourage and set out. The letter contained little more than his note and a small flute, exquisitely carved and bearing your master's sigil. He seemed to fear running afoul of the Circle of Mages, the most powerful covenant of magic users on Eo. His tower, now before you, bears signs of a terrible battle having raged there. Well, we better set out then. Better set out then. But first, mana. The corpses and debris marking the fight inside the great hall of your master's tower fill you with grief for him. Instinctively, your hands go to the flute he sent you with his letter. You trace the fine carvings with your fingers, and memories of your time here flood your mind. Suddenly, the flute seems to hum and vibrate, and a small sound emanates from it. Let's examine it. The sound morphs into a flute melody, and with it, shadowy images begin to appear across the hall. Figures take form, becoming more solid, and taking the shape of two groups facing each other, weapons drawn. You see your old master leading one of the groups. This must be the battle for the tower. Revisit the battle, combat tutorial, or I already know what happened. I might as well do the combat tutorial just to show that's off. Although I will probably just skip through all the tutorial messages. Right. So this is the battle screen. Looks very familiar, doesn't it, to all you Age of Wonders players and maybe Lords of Magic players as well. So we are fighting Ashen Ones, demons specifically, demons and fantastic. So yeah, you can see all your enemy stats down here. They have health, they have armor, they have melee attack. They have speed, and they have willpower. Willpower is your resistance to certain elements, specifically, as it says there, white and death, and also acts as their morale value. The lower it gets, the more penalties they suffer. There's also a core dweller here who has a missile attack, so we need to watch out for that. And we can also see how far they are going to move. Now we have an ice golem, 2 phantom warriors, and a pyromancer. Now there's a few ways we can do this. Either A, we can huddle in a corner and wait for them to come to us, or we can take the fight to them. Now, I think it might be wise to get my Ice Golem in and use Cold Snap. You can see all the abilities down here. So, the Frost Golem, or the Ice Golem, can punch something for elemental damage because it is, after all, an Ice Golem. And it can use Cold Snap, which, as you can see, deals damage in this area around it. Which brings me to one of my complaints about this game, the initial hotkeys. I'm not a fan of them. I might be able to rebind them, I'm not actually sure. I probably should have checked that, shouldn't I, before I started. No, it does not look like it. I cannot do it from here, so yeah. Also, one thing you can do, which you probably saw, you can have the sped up enemies thing on and off, and you can toggle the command speed, which is how fast animations happen. I have it quite high because the animations themselves, while nice, are a little bit slow when you're trying to not exactly rush through things, but whatever. Alright, so what else can we do? Ooh, now that might sync up well with my ice golem. So, the pyromancer here, he can use something called elemental weakness. Apply enkindled to enemy units in a 1 radius around a position in 4 range. So, in theory, I can move my caster up, and I can enkindle all these people, then I can use cold snap, and because of the enkindled, it will do extra damage. Because there does not seem to be a difference between fire, ice, and lightning elements. Alright, so let's put our plan into action. First, we want to move you over here. Then we want to move you... This is 4 range, wasn't it? So we want to move you probably here, so you're out of range. There we go. Let's use enkindling here. So they should all now be enkindled. Yes, they are. Right. Why can I not use cold snap? I've got 3 focus. It takes 2 actions. Alright, okay, that's fine. Well, they're set up for next turn, so I won't worry about it. Let's get my Phantom Warriors up so they cannot get through there. And seeing as though... do we guard? Probably guard. Although punching one of them wouldn't be too bad. Resistant versus damage type. Oh, really? Well, the enkindling should help slightly. So, you can examine enemies by clicking this little magnifying glass here when you have the... Right, so Demon. 50% elemental resistance. Oh, that's fun. That would have been nice to know previously. Yeah, you really do need to pay attention to what's what. Alright, well, we can at the very least just hit enter and all guard, and then we should take reduced damage. Please do not set fire to my stuff. That's my job. Alright. Let's give our golem flame armor, because... well, quite frankly, why not? Yes, that gives 100% elemental resistance, and melee attacks can inflict burning. Because, you know, the ice golem is the best thing to have that. Alright. You're going to get attacked if I try and move you out. So these red dots here are zone of control. Basically, if you try to move out of that, you will get an attack of opportunity against you. Now, my concern about attacking him is that these guys are going to flank us. We could just kill him. We might just do that, because that will reduce the damage that we take the next turn. Perfect. You cannot actually kill anyone, but we will attack anyway. That's all we can do. Right. There we go. Their morale's gone down, so they're now disordered. -2 damage. That's not bad. Unfortunately, because they keep attacking us, retaliatory attacks take action points. So if you get attacked 3 times, that uses all your action points, as you can see here. Which means I now cannot attack that demon. Unfortunately, my plan has not entirely gone to plan. Which is about right. Alright, so that's... I might as well just attack him. Stab him. And you can't kill him, so kill him. And now I can use Cold Snap, which does nothing because, you know, it's resistant to elemental damage because it's a demon. Yes, it is. Alright, well, just burn it then. Victory! Yeah, I'll go over world map stuff when I actually do all the tower stuff. There is a lot of reading in this game, though, quite frankly, that's to be expected with this sort of game. You are filled with hope and a touch of confusion as your master's forces dispatch the intruders. Then another robed figure enters the picture. With a leisurely wave of their hand, your master's remaining forces helplessly dissolve into ash, silent cries of agony etched into their faces. The ash is scattered to the wind, and the robed figure walks towards the stairs as if nothing happened. It's funny how I complain about the spelling and grammar, but it looks like it was just me. All of a sudden, the figure turns on you, raises their hand, and the flute's illusionary image vanishes abruptly. Did the magic end? Or did the robed figure cast some sort of abjuration to prevent being spied upon? You find yourself nervously looking around for any sign the robed figure is still here, but the tower lies empty now. Let's enter it. Impressions of the fighting still play on your mind as you slowly walk up the dented stairway. The tower, damaged and deserted, still retains your master's presence somehow, willing you onward. Whatever happened here will not be forgotten. You are sure there is more to discover. Your master was always adept at hiding his secrets, but you are determined to uncover them. Set up? You take stock. The entry hall's golden chandelier has been stolen, and its soft carpets are gone. Your master's tower was not just attacked, but also robbed, it appears. On closer inspection, there are several tracks out of the tower. Traces of torn fabrics and dropped cutlery lead to a goblin camp not far from here. Go to the goblin camp and find the thieves. That is exactly what we're going to do. But now, we own the mage tower. So, this is our tower screen. Here we can build rooms, kind of like you can in, well, any other game really. So, let's build the only thing we can build at this point, a necromancer's crypt. Because we are, after all, a necromancer, so it would make sense. We can also view our inventory here. We have a lesser vigorous soul and some remains. Now, we can either sell these in this screen. I'm not going to do that because we'll need that in a minute to create a minion. Now, I believe there is only 2 units here, but I will wait. Will I wait a turn? Oh, you know what? No, we'll go straight in. So this is the world screen. Again, probably looks very familiar to those who have played this style of game before. We have multiple things we can do. We can go over here to the goblin camp. We can, if we have someone with the mining ability, which you can actually unlock on pretty much any unit, you can mine this out. There are neutral creatures roaming the map. There are neutral like buildings that you can go and either ransack or take over. There are things you can find, research books here, for example. There is a camp over here. And somewhere over in this direction there's a town, but we're not going to be going over there for a while yet. Every unit has a certain amount of world tiles that they can move, because everything is on a hex grid. So yeah, if any single unit in this stack is at 0, then that's the end of the turn for that particular day. So for example, this stack here, despite the fact that our very angry looking necromancer minions here has 5 movement points remaining, as you can see here, this stack can only move 4. If he split off from the stack, he could move an extra tile, but quite frankly, that's not really worth it. I do not believe, and I've not actually been able to prove this yet, but I do not believe that 2 stacks that are next to each other can reinforce each other in combat. That's something I will have to check in my other game at another time. But I do believe I did have, on my other game, I had 2 stacks here, and then I had 1 attack, and only that stack attacked. This stack stayed where it was. So yeah. Right, so I suppose we've got nothing else to do for the moment, so we might as well go and do that story mission. Goblin camp, ahoy! From the camp, you make out the loud and obnoxious squabbling of goblins. It appears that they are fighting over loot from the tower, screaming at each other at the top of their lungs. Either I can ambush them, or I can wait and watch. Now, wait and watch can lead to, I'm going to presume, can lead to one or 2 things. In my head, I'm talking here, not the game. Either they're going to get stronger because more of them turn up, or I don't get a drop on them or something like that, or I'm going to get less loot or something like that. Or they'll take each other out. Wait and watch. When the goblins spot you, their screeches alarm the whole camp. They start running at you, weapons drawn. I can either stand my ground and fight them in combat, I can greet them, or I can use 5 mana, which is up here, to conjure a display of your magic, which hopefully will get them to back down. I'm not doing anything else with my magic at the moment. Let's get them to back down. The goblins stop their screaming long enough to stare at you, then fall over while trying to flee the camp. Don't let them go or let them flee. Oh, I really don't want to let them go. I was hoping it would weaken them or something, but it does not appear to have done so. I might have just wasted 5 magic there. Alright, let them flee. The goblins stop in their tracks and look at you sheepishly. One of them, wearing a cooking pot for a helmet, shouts, "We knows you. You the Master's old pupil, yes? We serves Master Wizard. but robes came and took him. We serves you now. We hungry. He points at his belly and smacks his lips. Robes? What robes? The goblins jump up and down nervously. Big people in robes. Terrible magics they wield. We hides away until battle is over. Then we comes back and saves master's things. So he brings here loyal goblins. The goblins grin at you, showing yellowish teeth and pointing at scattered tools and ripped carpets. We take good care of master's things. Yes, yes. They are apparently Skaven. Will you be loyal goblins to me now? The goblins look relieved and grab their weapons and gear, preparing to follow you. We fights, we kills, we eats, they sing happily, if out of tune. One looks wistfully into the distance and adds, we lost some of master's things when running from tower. Don't beat us, we shows you where. And now we got some goblin archers. I welcome your service. The goblins point to 2 stacks of chests and sacks not far from where you stand. Well, we better go get them, before someone else does. And now, in our territory, now that we've cleared that, there is just a goblin camp hanging out. That means we can now hire goblins. So, we can hire goblin brawlers, archers, and shaman. The shaman is a tier 2 unit and will cost more gold upkeep per turn, but is going to be slightly stronger in certain ways. So this goblin shaman, for example, is, funnily enough, being called a shaman, a spellcaster. So they have healing spores, which is pretty useful for any living units, but keep in mind, we are a necromancer. We're going to be using mostly undead. Undead are not healed by life spells like healing spores here. If a spell will heal undead, then that will be called a magical heal, or something along those lines, if I remember correctly. We'll have a look at the aid spell shortly, once we get the spell book back. He can also use Electro Ball, which deals white damage, which is very useful against ethereal things and demons and such. Not all ethereal things, but some of them are susceptible to white damage. And he's also a goblin leader. Every goblin ally in his unit stack gains +2 willpower and +2 damage. Very useful for if you want a stack of goblins just running around shanking everything. Unfortunately, yeah, we're not going to be able to afford the upkeep on that at the moment. We are already in the red on gold, so we will not be getting any brawlers, archers, or shaman for the time being. We are going to have to simply wait. However, we do have some movement points left with this stack, so let's go grab the. Okay, that's 10 gold. That's not too bad. Can I actually get? I cannot afford a workshop yet. I'm going to need a workshop to boost my gold reserves per turn. However, I now have a necromancer's crypt. You wander the old familiar rooms of the tower, lost in memories of your time here as an apprentice. The place was clearly searched through before the goblins ransacked it. Your master's crafting room has been depleted, most of the other chambers ravaged. Whoever did this left no stone unturned. Let's go to the library. Buried beneath a toppled bookcase in your master's gutted library, you find his old grimoire. Reverently, you open the heavy tome. Most of its beautifully illustrated pages have been torn out. But you still see bits and pieces of your master's illegible script. He was always secretive about his arcane research, often writing in code. Let's try to decipher it. You look for the first spells he taught you, carefully flipping the large pages to one of the bookmarks attached to the spine. You can indeed make out some of the basics, others you can almost decipher. This needs further study. You gaze around the room, imagining a treasure trove of arcane knowledge hidden amongst the scattered scrolls and torn books. A lifetime of magical study at your disposal. Alright, so, for that we get 10 research, and I will not leave until I have recovered my master's knowledge. And our turn has rolled around again, excellent. So, now we have unlocked Grimoire and Necromancy. Say hello to the Grimoire. Now, this contains, well, pretty much everything important, including spells and research. And it also gives you some quests that you can accomplish. It also gives us... Am I going to seize? I feel like seizing, but am I going to seize? I don't know. Yes, it tells us all these room blueprints and how we can unlock these rooms. And here we see Death March, Enchanted Wisp, Aid, and a spell. Corrode. Turn metal brittle and rusty, weakening its structure. Now, that I don't think I'm going to prepare at the moment. I'm just going to continue to saving mana. Aid, however, now that's a very useful spell, and is, quite frankly, at this point, the #1 goal. After that, probably Enchanted Wisp, that's our second most important thing. And the Crypt. Craft your first recipe. First move one soul from your inventory into the soul slots. Next, add items from your inventory containing death essence into the ingredient slots to negate any life essence remaining in your recipe. Once you have no life left, you will be able to craft your first recipe, which in this case will be ghouls. Although I imagine you could just ignore all of that and go straight into tier 2 stuff if you had the items for it. So, Necromancy, funnily enough, conflicts with life. So, like the tutorial over here says, we have to drag something that is death related to ensure that that is negated. You can tell what items are, or what elements they are, from these little dots in the top left hand corner up here. So the Lesser Vigorous Soul is a life item, and it contains 1 life pip. Remains are a death item, because of the purple, and contain 1 death pip. So, now that that's completely negated, that will give us some ghouls. If you fill up all of these 3 here, there's essentially 3 sections. So level 1, level 2, level 3. And level 1, all of that gives you a skeleton archer, for example. Filling up all of the elemental gives you a skeleton warrior. Things like that. That's going to take us 2 turns, but we might as well get it underway, because there is no reason not to, quite frankly. Now let's grab this other box. More treasure. Interesting. Alright. In that case, who's here? There's 2 people here. Alright, well, let's go bonk them in the face then. Ooh, and they are damaged as well. Excellent. So this is your pre-battle screen. You can see your comparative strength against theirs. It will give you an estimate as to how likely you are to win the battle. As with all games that have a auto-resolve mechanic, I do not trust this thing in the slightest, and often feel that I can do a better job myself. There are a few instances where that's not the case, but yeah, there have been instances where the game has said, "You are not going to win this, this will be a decisive defeat," and then I've done the thing with no casualties whatsoever. So, yeah. The auto-resolve is a little wonky. But then that's the same for all games of this caliber, this type. So, say hello to a unit that we're going to be seeing quite a lot of. Militia. Tier 1 mortal human. Yeah, a lot of the human enemies around this area are going to be either militia or arsonists, at least the tier 1 ones. So, okay. These guys have no range attack, and they can only move to here. So, we might as well set up here, and then wait for them to come to us. And I should probably turn down the volume. Though I don't want to do it because I do have... I'm using the monitor capture. There we go. Yes, I was watching a Jay Barino video just before I started. The co-op campaign does look fun for StarCraft 2, but I don't really have anyone to play it with. Alright. So they are now pretty much in range of my stuff. So, Necromancer minions, a very good thing to have. Reason being, they have the Soul Catcher ability. So, their attacks, when they do attack, have a chance to inflict Soul Caged, which is essentially Soul Trap from Oblivion. Or any other Elder Scrolls game, really. Which means that it will drop its soul for us when it dies, which is very nice of it. It means we can craft more undead. Apparently this thing can also swim. I was not aware of that. See, this is why you have to really go through everything here. Goblin archers. Yeah, they don't have anything spectacular. Although they do have expendable. Yeah, goblins generally are expendable because they're essentially, well, at least when you're playing Necromancer. I don't know about the other two. It might be expendable for them as well, but yeah, they don't impact morale when they die, so it's fine. Now, we got a choice. We can either attack this militia here for full damage, 21 to 30, 3 attacks. Pretty decent. Or we can attack them over there for 12 to 18, 3 attacks, a high ground, range penalty. Yes, we do have range. Which I believe... I'm not sure how you check the actual... how far away the range... how far away they have to get before the range penalty kicks in, but I think it's normally like over like 50% or something. I would have to check, so don't quote me on it. Alright, so best way to do this I think is going to be Soul Trap this militia here. There we go, Soul Caged. Right, now if we... now we could do that, but we will get retaliated. So, let's go around the side and flank them. Because, hang on a minute, why are they retaliating? They should be able to retaliate from that angle. Ugh. Fine. And just bong them. I guess I was one tile out. Unless these are unflankable. Are they unflankable? No, they're not. Interesting. Alright, well, you just shoot them then. Alright. And that's the end of the turn for me. Alright. They took some pretty heavy damage. Let's shoot these guys and hope they get soul caged, but I doubt it. Yeah, they're gonna just get instantly mulched. Took more damage than I'd like there. I might have screwed up slightly, but what I should have done is use both my ranged units on that militia, and then I don't know. All right. So we got a lesser vigorous soul, and we got +1 reputation with an unknown faction, and 2 mountain copper. For exploring the mine. Now, if that was in our domain, we would also be getting 5 gold a turn out of it. Unfortunately, it's not. Not yet. We can get it later, though. Now, when you end your turn in your domain, units will regenerate. You can also regenerate through other means, like aid and whatever. But, yeah. If they are in specific areas, like, say, the Mage Tower, or there are inns and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a camp there. Yeah, if you leave your units in those sorts of places, they will regenerate extra health. 10 research for those books. Excellent. What is this? I should probably go do the quest, though. And now, what are your next steps? The destruction of your master's tower must mean he uncovered something of the All-Fire's secrets, which the Circle guards fiercely. You can restore the contents of his grimoire, but his tower needs rebuilding too, and if the Circle is behind its disappearance, you must expect them to come for you as well. Maybe they know of your discovery already. So, if you are well aware of Spellforce lore, you will be aware of who the Circle of Mages is. But for the benefit of those who have never played a Spellforce game in their life, I will go, what exactly is the Circle? The Circle of Mages, a covenant of the most powerful magi on Eo. They supposedly protect all practitioners of magic, furthering knowledge of the mystic arts, but they are also the only living beings that have begun to master the All-Fire's might, having recently discovered the key to its might on the faraway continent of Zhu. Now, they bar others from partaking in the All-Fire's immense power, claiming it is too dangerous for the uninitiated to handle. I will have to tread carefully. Taking proper stock of your master's laboratory, you find very little more than empty files and containers that have, like everything else, been searched through. It was certainly not the work of goblins. You can make out tracks of a cart leading to a nearby hamlet you passed on your way here. Did the villagers plunder the tower after it was abandoned too? I suppose I should check in with them. And now there's a hamlet here. But I'm more interested in murdering goblins at this particular moment in time. Now, unfortunately, I can't do any necromancy because I can technically do that. But yeah, there will be a life essence pip, so yeah, we can't actually do that quite yet. Hopefully we can get some remains from these goblins. So they have a brawler and an archer. That's an easy enough battle, hopefully. Mining ore veins will grant you precious metals and potentially gems. Alright. So this map is very good for showing off the terrain. For we are in a valley. There is high ground and there is low ground. If you have the high ground, then you will do better when you fire at enemies. So if I head over here, and yeah, you can see I've got a high ground positive, so I'll do a little bit more damage than I normally would. Us move over here, and over here, and move you up here. Alright. Let us move. Ooh, there is a slight penalty there, I think, because of those trees. Now I can actually attack them. So that's okay. So you see above the enemy there. So pay attention to this goblin archer. So here, if I was to move to this location, I would be able to... Well, the eye is yellow. So that, I'm guessing, indicates a range penalty. The fact that it's only half an eye indicates a sight penalty, meaning it can't exactly see him to get a good shot. So I'm going to suffer both penalties if I move to either of these locations. If I was to move over here, the eye is green. I don't have the range penalty, but I do have the sight penalty. If I was to move here, I would do full damage. So, why would we move anywhere other than there? Aside from, you know, the fact that we're... Ooh, even better, we're flanking. So we're doing 15 to 22 damage in a single shot. That's full damage. Now imagine we did that 3 times. Well, we can't, sadly. I rolled low on that one, I got 17, but that's fine. Right, if you move behind, and then hit them with a flanking attack, flanking means that they cannot retaliate. So while I'm only getting one attacking, the enemy does turn to face you. So that means that now this unit won't receive any retaliation, and we can stab them in the back. Truly the most honourable of combatants. They took some pot shots at my necromancer minions. There we go, 39 to 60 damage because of all the high ground bonus. Sadly not flanking anymore, but yeah, they did it anyway. No soul trap though, and I'm going to keep calling it soul trap. I don't care if it's called soul caged. Alright, now some of our units have leveled up. After battle, your units will gain experience. And yeah, you can choose one sort of thing for them to specialise in, or one bonus per level. Sometimes you get 3. I have had it once where every time a week passes, there's like a certain bonus you get from that week. And yes, I have had one which increased the number of level up choices you get. Now, Goblin Archers. I can get either 1 speed or 1 armor. Armor, well, the idea of the archers is they're not going to be attacked at all. Although the armor would be nice, I feel that speed is going to be more useful here, to let them either evade or get to the high ground quicker. the Goblin Brawlers. They have either piercing attacks, +6 damage against units with armoured. That sounds really good. Or speed. I'm going with piercing attacks, because that sounds absolutely spectacular. Probably not as good for us yet, but... oh, now this is a more difficult choice. Health or piercing attacks? Health would be quite good, because they are on our front line. We'll go piercing again. Sadly, our Necromancer minion did not level up. Yeah. This unit is of magical origin and has 15 health, +2 armor, +2 damage, but cannot gain experience. So any unit with the fantastic tag cannot actually gain levels. So things like demons and these Necromancer minions. I did get some remains though. I found 10 gold. And I found nothing else among that. That's not quite as helpful, but whatever. Right, let's get back in our territory so we can heal. So yeah, here we go. We have now unlocked Aid. Probably one of the most useful spells, well, just in general. With Aid, you get +25 magical daily regeneration for a turn. It's only one turn, but that is enough to get a sort of standard undead unit up by about 1/4 of its HP, which overall is pretty good. I'll say 1/4. I could just say 1/4 like every other normal person, but hey. And we have unlocked a new thing. Cannibalize. By facilitating the transfer of life energy. This spells allows the consumption. Okay, now I don't feel so bad about criticizing the grammar when I wasn't reading something properly. Allows the consumption of precious mortal flesh to have invigorating effects for those in need. That I'm not going to go for quite yet. That's 80 research points, which is quite a lot in the grand scheme of things. So it's probably better for me to get Summon Enchanted Wisp. Now, these are going to be very, very essential for us, because later on we will gain the ability to grab all fire sources, and this is the one unit that can do so. So we need that ASAP. Unfortunately, that is the end of the turn. We do have our ghoul here. We can get another ghoul as well. Might as well. I don't see why not. Every ghoul does take 1 mana upkeep, so we are actually reducing our maximum or our mana per turn the more we get, but details. I will probably prepare an aid. I won't do it yet. What on earth are next door's kids doing? It sounds like he's going meow, 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 meow. You have stacks awaiting your orders. Yes, you are just going to stay there and defend the tower for a minute. We need to get more of you before we go and do anything else. Unfortunately, until we get more upkeep, yeah, that's not going to happen. Or more upkeep allowance, whatever. Okay, let's go and... The village's inhabitants eye you with an air of hostility when you arrive. Children are called inside. Some of the villagers arm themselves with tools and sticks. Your band regards them cautiously in return. A burly black-haired man, brandishing a cudgel, steps forward and says, "There is nothing for you here." I'm a necromancer, so really I should just beat them to a pulp and then raise the remains. But they could also be useful if they worked for me. Let's show them I mean no harm. Like I said, if they work for me, then you never know, it might be useful. The villagers barely budge, but after a moment, one of their elders steps forward hesitantly. We were afraid you would bewitch us. The old wizard's apprentice thought they would come after him and take back the items he gave us. We wanted to trade them in the city to buy clothes for our children. Alright. Let's trade for them. Trade? But we trade? The elder stares at you, slow to collect himself, and calls out to his people. The mage's troops are here to trade. As those around him begin to relax, he leans in to squint at you. You're not playing a cruel trick on us, are you? You really wish to trade for our goods? I could turn on them now and say, "Of course not, you fool! Now hand over your possessions." But no, I'm gonna be nice. Yes, trade, is that so half the fathom? It's just, we humbly apologize for our behavior. Now, what do you wish to trade for the goods? I can either pay you gold for a few ingredients, or I can perform some cantrips. Ooh, I've got a lot of gold at the moment, so I'm happy to part with some gold pieces. The villagers gladly accept the coin you give them for their wares, but seem happy for you to leave. Ooh, some very good things here. And I got plus 20 with an undiscovered faction. I'm going to assume that's one of the cities. Pleasure doing business. As you leave, you think about the apprentice the villagers kept speaking of. Perhaps you can find them. They may be able to shed some light on your master's fate. I will see if I can find out more. Right, now that is inside our city. There is nothing hostile there, so we are getting 1 gold a turn out of it. Yeah, 1 gold a turn is not going to really help us overall in the long run. But we do now have the ability to craft some more undead. So, certain souls give you bonuses for the crafted minion. For example, this is Arcane Soul here, which is what I'm going to use. It gives you plus 2 mana per day while that unit is alive, which will offset its upkeep. In fact, it'll actually give us plus 1 mana per day because the upkeep of the unit is 1. Now, either summon ghouls from a corpse in plus 3 range. I can just summon ghouls whenever I want, pretty much, so I'm quite happy with getting rid of that. Now, I have got 2... well, I've got 5 death ingredients. 6 death ingredients. 7 death ingredients. So, if I was to, say, get 3 pips of death, then I could very much get some skeleton archers. If I was to put another what is it? Elemental ingredient in there, yeah, I could get a tier 2 unit, but unfortunately it's only a level 1 soul, so I cannot actually get that. You have no free crafting slot available. Ah, yes, because the ghouls. Okay, that's fine. We can wait. We can wait another turn. So... I think, if I remember correctly from before, the apprentice comes to us. So let's take a wander. You can just sleep for now. I want to get you to full stack before we do anything spectacular. Your master's missive spoke of an all-fire source he discovered not far from here. Now that you have established yourself in his tower, it is time to search for it. You eagerly scour his scribblings for any hint to the source's location. It must be close to the tower, else your master would not have set up his abode here. Eventually, you find the location noted in your master's grimoire. It is not even a day's walk from the tower. But how to access the All-Fire? As many have found out to their detriment, no mortal may touch the All-Fire without being consumed. The Circle only recently discovered how to master its power, and they will not teach their secret to anyone. But your master once described a theory of his, of a magical conduit, by summoning an ethereal creature to meld with the All-Fire source, and retaining the connection to it after it has been consumed, you may be able to channel some of the All-Fire's power into yourself. A wisp may do the trick, an ethereal being often used by mages as scouts or messengers. Let's summon one and try. So, that is, ooh, that's even closer than before. Previously, it was over here somewhere, my other run. Unfortunately, it's being, well, there is currently a rather angry group of bees sitting above it, or wasps specifically. Transmutation. Not interested yet. I kind of want Death March because of what it opens up, so let's grab it for now. Do I want to attack the tower, or do I want to do the All-Fire? I don't want to progress through the story too quickly, but then I also want to get to the Apprentice before I end the video. Alright, let's go. I can use... If I had alchemy, I could use an ointment to disperse them peacefully. Or I can just shank them, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Oh yes. Approaching the All-Fire node's location, you find it buzzing with activity. A swarm of insects has taken hold of it, no doubt attracted by the place's alluring energy. Right. It's time to stamp on some insects. This is a very pretty battlefield. Yeah, a lot of the icons and stuff, they're all from Spellforce 3. I wonder where exactly this place takes place in the timeline, or is it simply not in the timeline at all? Right. They can get to us, so I'm going to go here. Now, they can go around us. Yeah, they can fly around us, but I'm hoping that they won't. Ooh. Because I've got such high ground, I can actually fire at them. Okay. It's over, wasps. I have the high ground. I'm pretty sure I did that in the other battle, but yeah. Right. That's excellent. Soul cage. So I got me a wasp soul. There. It's starting to get dark already. Right, I got a chunk of meat, I got a lesser feral soul, which gives you pack tactics for +1 damage per unit in the stack with pack tactics, and +1 with an unknown faction. After dispersing the giant insects, you eagerly approach the place where the glow seems to break through the ground, pulsating with promise. Get closer. The All-Fire draws you to it, its power singing to you. As tempted as it is, you know that outside the Council of Mages, no one can touch it and survive. If you can summon a wisp, it could meld with the All-Fire source and allow you to channel its energy. I have that in my grimoire. If you did not have it in your grimoire, it would basically just tell you to research it at that point. Alright. turn. Okay. Let's also get that archer that I said about. I could have done that last turn, actually. I could have set that off. Oh, yeah, did not act optimally there. There you go. Alright. Let's bomb the tower. Okay, 2 arsonists. Now, arsonists are not fun. They do elemental damage, which, when you're playing the undead, an undead focused faction, yeah, pretty nasty. Undead are weak to that sort of thing. They also have a range attack, as you can tell. So we can't just sit back and wait for them to come to us. We're going to have to push forward. However, what I do plan to do is go up to them and then wait. Set guard for the damage reduction, and yeah, we'll go from there. That's a range penalty, apparently. Okay. And use that. Right, he's now soul caged, so we can grab his soul at the end of this, should we kill him. I'm a little concerned they're going to come around. They're not. Okay. My goblin has been set on fire. It's a bit rude. Another soul. And you can flank, apparently. So get you some experience. Victory! Circle mages don't like it when you trespass into their domain. You don't say. Alright, bandages, 2 lesser vigorous souls, and a lot of sight thanks to that watchtower. Now, most of this is, well, the swampy land, that's the name I've forgotten. It's not the best or most fun place to be. Not with, mostly level 1 units, so let's not go in that direction. Let's instead head over here. Oh good, fire beetles, please don't attack us. Week of the Guardians. Travelling is blessed by the Guardians, as many seek to visit nearby temples. Faction promotions. All your units have +1 world map movement. Quite nice. Not far from your tower, you spot a hooded figure watching you from a crop of trees. Is the circle already aware of your presence here? Danger may be closer than expected. I need more guards. You know the local militia holds a watchtower not far away. Perhaps you can acquire help there. Let's talk to them. And by talk, I mean punch them in the face. Probably. Alright. Summon Wisp is ready, so that you can summon it anywhere in our territory. Let's summon it right here. Because then we can get over here. Ooh. Before you is the glory of the All-Fire. Its raw, unbridled energy sings to you, resonating with every fibre of your being. You desire nothing more than to touch it, though you know it will destroy you. The whisper beside you hums slowly, resonating with the All-Fire too. Give yourself over to the All-Fire's call, or let the wisp meld with the snowed and study it. Ooh. Say let the wisp meld with the node and study it. We've been told specifically not to touch the All-Fire. So I'm going to say study it. You barely manage to avert your gaze from the wondrous energy, so powerful is your desire to delve into the All-Fire source. But you do restrain yourself, focusing instead on what can be learned from observing the meld. To hell with the circle, I will conquer the All-Fire. And I will meld. The All-Fire. Well, the Wisp will, specifically. Alright. Let's go to the militia outpost and see what we can do with that. If I remember correctly, at the I assume I have enough death stuff. I do. Barely. I don't think I actually have enough to... No, I don't have enough for skeleton archer. I need one more death ingredient. Unfortunate. Yeah, a lot of souls use life, and I'm not a fan of that when it comes to being low on ingredients. Some soldiers loiter in front of the watchtower, but there isn't even a proper guard posted. At the sight of your approach, a few of them do get up, unsure on their feet and obviously more than just a little drunk. I could offer them gold to join my ranks, I could admonish them for their dereliction of duty, or I can impress them with magic. So impress them with magic. The guards clap and laugh at your magical displays, watching in wonder as your cantrips fill the air with all manners of conjurations. You promise them a full belly and a good ale, and they happily join you. Simple minds, so easy to impress. You know you should be careful. The locals probably won't look kindly on you using your magic to lure away the protection. For now, though, you are glad for the additional soldiers. Oops, I might have upset the locals. Okay. So, these areas here, these are monster spawners. As you can see, enemies will emerge from here. We can go clear those out later. They're kind of like barbarian camps, except after the barbarian camp is cleared, in this instance, you can keep it. It stays on the world map, and you can indeed hire thieves. You go into there. Right, I now have a full stack here. Unfortunately, it's mostly melee, but well, we'll make do with what we've got. Also, the militia are yellow instead of purple, which I am not a fan of. I mean, blue would have been nice as well, because, you know, blue domain thing, but I don't know. I imagine I could probably change that if I create a custom mage, but nah, it's fine. Grain silo, camp, unexplored. I swear I explored that. I find a berserk room and dwarven ignition. Okay, I can make another skeleton archer now. In that case, let's make a feral soul. Let's use the feral soul. Why not? Bugger. Still not enough. Because I don't have that slot unlocked. Alright. What I need is I need a 2. Or I need a soul with no life essence. I need research, don't I? Death March. That unlocks fear, which I can't really rush yet. I guess we'll get cannibalized. Screw it, we'll get transmutation. Thing is, I didn't actually see that in my last playthrough. I wonder if that's random. Let's go hit the goblins. I technically could have auto-resolved, but like I said, I really don't trust them. This is 2 range units, so they're going to be easier to take down, but they're going to do a lot of damage to us on approach, so we need to be careful of that. Let's move you there. Soul cage? No. Okay. You just stay there. You're all damaged, so... Ow. Oh, you can't actually... You'd have to melee them. Okay, reduce range on them. Come on, Soul Cage! Ah, you... Not a git. Why can they not be... I guess maybe they can't get a good angle to do a ranged attack? Right. Maybe I should have brought the other one forward, because I could have actually finished them both off this round, but no, it's fine. Hit them. Alright. Yeah, could have done that better. Which is pretty much how I play this game. Could have done better. Alright. Plus 100% daily regeneration for archers, or plus 1 missile damage. Well, guess which one I'm going for. Missile damage, obviously. Ooh. Melee damage or daily regeneration? I mean, daily regeneration does sound useful, but extra melee damage, it's only 1. Let's get healing. Pack tactics or melee damage? Let's get pack tactics. I swear someone else in my stack has pack tactics. No, they don't. Okay, well that was actually not useful then. Oh well. Someone else will get pack tactics at some point, it's fine. Okay. Let's end the turn. And there we go. I melee with the All-Fire and gained extra... Oh, hello there. Late at night, a frantic rattling at the door wakes you up. From your window, you see a hooded figure nervously eyeing the path leading up to your tower. Spotting you, they frantically wave and shout, "Quick! Open up! In the name of our master! They're after me!" Open the door or survey the area for any pursuers. Survey the area. You scan the darkness, but you cannot make out anything or anyone following the hooded figure. They hammer against your door again. Come on, hurry, they cannot be far away now. Okay, fine, I'll let you in then. After quickly sliding through the doorway and locking the door behind him, a man slumps against the wall and breathes. I pray they have not spotted my trail, or we may all be lost. Slowly catching his breath, he pulls down his hood. He is older than you thought, his beard already greying. Apologies, where are my manners? He mumbles. I know who you are. Our master spoke very highly of you. But no doubt, you wonder who I am. Indeed. I am Jonath. I studied the art of necromancy with our late master, the man says it proudly. Here is proof of my work with him. He hands you a number of densely scribbled pages. Their topics center on facilitating the creation of undead, marked in numerous places by your master's hand. So tell me, what happened to our master? I must say it is quite the tale. He takes a seat at the small table near the tower entrance. Do you want me to tell you everything, or just what has happened to our master's research after the circle came for him? 1 hour 24. Screw it, story time with Caldaris. As you no doubt, our master's obsession has always been to control the flow of the Allfire. It is something long thought lost with the Shapers, but a few years ago he made a breakthrough. He managed to split the Allfire's flow with a magical prism, allowing him to harvest part of its might and begin real research into its mastery. It was a slow and dangerous process, but he did succeed. I have his treatise on the subject. I don't actually know how that's pronounced. Having begun to master the Allfire, he grew more ambitious. He devised a much larger prism that could be mounted onto his tower to channel far more of the Allfire into a special chamber, where it could be siphoned off directly. Ingenious, I must say. Nothing like that has ever been attempted. But there is no such chamber here. Because he never had the chance to build it. An emissary of the Circle came and attempted to warn him off, but he did not heed the threat. He was too close to another breakthrough to stop, so the Circle came back with an ultimatum. Knowing full well they would intervene, he handed me the pages of his research for safekeeping and sent me away. I was still inside of the tower when they arrived. What then? The man looks crestfallen as he haltingly replies, I ran. I am ashamed to admit I ran. My master did tell me to go, for his research was more important than his life, he said. But still, I panicked and ran, not out of duty but out of fear. I traded with the local villagers to hide me in their cart and carry me away from here. The man looks at you a little forlornly. I never saw our master again, but now I have failed him twice. How so? When I heard someone was rebuilding the tower, my curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. I hid in a goblin village not far from here, but the Circle was watching for me and ambushed me, demanding I hand over our master's plans. He begins to sob as he says, I feared for my life. I gave them the plans our master died to protect. Where was this? A day's journey from here. Not far away is a tower the Circle's forces have long used as a base. I am certain that is where they took the pages with our master's most valuable research. I managed to gather some of our master's former servants, but our forces are not sufficient to take on the Circle's minions. I implore you, please help me protect our master's legacy. I swear I will not fail him again. I will even offer you my services if you help me retake his research. Please, together we may best the Circle's forces. Our master's work must be preserved. I agree, for our master's sake. And there's the stolen pages. And there is our first hero. Now every stack has a leader slot. You cannot put a normal unit there. It is reserved purely for heroes, or apprentices as they are called in this game. This is our first, Jonathan Necromancer. He is a deathbolt tossing, undead raising, well, necromancer. And yeah, he can also catch the souls of the defeated, but only with a percentage chance. Still, it's better than nothing. And he's pretty good, all things considered. Not the most tanky person in the world, but 80 is still pretty good for a hero. We also have access to the Allfire flow, now that we have captured an Allfire point. Now we can choose between, well, mana, research, and proficiency. Proficiency levels of our tower, so you can increase the height of the tower, and it will basically allow you to build extra slots further up, and it will also allow you to expand your domain's reach and things like that. I can't remember what else it does. Where's tower. Yes, next level at level 10. So yeah, you'll get extra domain radius, extra apprentice slots, and tower rooms. 3 more tower rooms. Also, I should probably build a workshop. Increase the gold I get. So, with that all done, we got an extra stack here. Might as well send you. Send you scouting out this way. And you. Let's test this. Because that rather angry thing over there, the horned beast, that's going to charge our tower in a minute. If it's anything like the previous attempt. So let's see if, when he attacks the tower, if this stack gets drawn into the fight. I don't think it will. That is, of course, assuming it does actually come at us. No, it didn't. Okay, well, I guess we go into it then. Now, I have 2 stacks here. No! Domain of the Circle. Minus 50% for daily regeneration. What has attacked this? Because it's suddenly damaged. Oh, I don't care. Oh, he's coming. Alright, what's your movement range? So, right, we got 2 ghouls. Now, ghouls are obviously undead. They cannot regenerate. They can only get their health back by consuming corpses. Commander? All undead are the same, however, not all undead start off with consumed corpse. Let's get the get you up there, stick you there, stick you there. You can't attack yet. No, you can't. Here he comes. And fire. He's going to get retaliated.
Commander?
Okay.
Yes.
You use death bolts. Now, unfortunately, this guy has armor of some description. Looking at that bar up there, or is that his? No, that's his focus. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's focus.
Yes.
I thought that was armor for a second. Evidently not. Card stance. Oh, he's attacking the militia. That's not what I wanted. I get a range penalty, but it's flank. Bonk. And he will retaliate against that. Okay, that's fine. Let's use death magic to wear him down.
Commander?
That won't kill them. To be fair, I probably could have actually just finished him off with the ghouls rather than take that extra damage on the militia, but it's fine. So, yes, stacks cannot reinforce each other. That's unfortunate. But then why are there 10 spaces? I don't know. And stolen pages. Owned by the Circle. There's only 1 unit here, which probably means it's a pretty damn nasty unit. Right, militia. You get out. Necromancer's minion. You get in. The Circle's forces have spotted you from afar and are prepared for battle. Stay away, or we will end you, their leader shouts from one of the tower's windows. We do not fear you. Attack. It's a golem. Or a Medusa warrior, sorry. 120 hit points. That does not seem fun. Petrifying gaze. Oh good, white damage. Against my entirely undead army. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Alright. Let's murder them, I suppose. Or get murdered. Oh, that did 44 damage. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Let's move you up.
Yes.
Luckily, undead, pretty expendable. Oh, that first strike too. I know that's not the best place for them, but...
Yes.
Let's move you... here. Unfortunately, there's no way to turn them around. That I can see, anyway. So, I'm just going to have to hope that they don't flank.
Yes.
And... boom. Right. Good, they didn't do any white damage. Soul caged. Good.
Yes.
And do that. Flanking, you say? Perfect. And you're dead. No, you're not. You got 3 health left. You are to get. I can't do any more damage, can I? No. Well, those ghouls are lucky. So I got ashes, remains, and a level 2 soul. Undead created out of this soul gain Miner. Miner harvestable location on the world map to gather ore. Pretty useful. Okay, we don't have fear yet, but I don't think... I mean, willpower might be good for their white resistance. But they do have a white weakness, so it's not going to offset it all that much. You get a decent amount of fear things later on, so let's prepare them for the fear. Oh, another mine ore. You know what? I'm not going to say no. Willpower or health for the archers. I guess health. Though there's a little more willpower, won't be at the end of the... won't be the worst thing in the world. Screw it now, we'll take the health. 71 health on archers, not bad. You search through every room of the Circle's tower until you find the Master's research spread out on a table. As promised, he has written about a way to channel a much larger amount of allfire using your tower as a focus. Scanning the text, you barely understand half of it, but the potential is evident. This method would have brought him far closer to mastering the allfire and rival the Circle mages. No wonder they wanted him stopped. They feared he would become their equal. I got a tower spell page. And I lost a load of reputation with a load of people. Probably the circle mages. I mean, I did just blow up their tower. Flying Spire. Rip your tower from the ground and levitate it freely through Fiara. Yes, indeed. But first, we need to heal. Because our units are nearly dead. But that will be where we leave off. Because, quite frankly, this has gone on way too long. I only intended to do an hour, and it's now nearly 2. But that is very much the way that this this sort of thing goes. That's what this kind of game does to you. So, if you think this looks like your sort of thing, then there is a link in the description. Though I am somewhat loath to give recommendations on games. Because, well, you never know how games are going to change, and I have not got to the end game stuff, so I can't really say I've got far enough into the game to formulate a full opinion. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed it, and until next time, I have been Caldaris. Play us out next door's dog.